Just trying to get everything sorted. Here we go. And let me put that in the stream room as well. Alright. It looks like we are back at it again, James. We're back at it again. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back to SRM ESPORTS. Sorry, I just had a brain fart all of a sudden as I was going. Welcome back to SRM ESPORTS, ladies and gentlemen, where we have all of the bloopers as always, just to make it a little bit of a better experience for you guys back at home. But we are here for Season 4, Round 6, for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Commentators here tonight, Just Gaming or Justin, and we also have Highlander or James. James, how you doing, my man?
Not too shabby. I'm here for a good race in Brazil. Hopefully some spins. I love a good spin now and here.
Yeah, a very, very difficult track to master, especially Sector 2. Those crucial S-turns in the middle of the track, very difficult to get that down. And, of course, you got to watch the throttle as well, so... But yeah, we're here for the Brazilian Grand Prix. What is your opinion, actually, of this track?
Personally, I don't tend to have good experience with the track, but me personally, I like the track.
I actually really like it as well, because it's not just like this track isn't just for Formula 1 or anything like that. It's also for like group cars. It's also for I'm pretty sure one year there was MotoGP at this track, but yeah, this track here at they is actually giving two names actually for the Formula 1 scene is Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace, or in the other scenes Autodromo Interlagos for like the group cars and things like that. But doesn't matter the name, same place, same time. Let's get this party going. Of course, I actually see in the chat FRL Charlie, how you doing, my man? Good to see you in here. FRL, is that for Formula Racing League? Is that what FRL stands for, Charlie? If that's the case. But welcome anyway. Hopefully you enjoy today's race of round 6. But with that in mind, as we're still waiting for a few drivers to make their way in, let's actually segue our way down towards the standings for the time being. And I was going to say, James, would you like to take care of that?
If you give me a minute to get that up, absolutely.
No worries, no worries.
Never prepared as usual.
Oh, Michael saying, hi, I'm currently on the toilet. I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, for the love of...
Well, Michael, please do not go live like us right now, please. Charlie says no, stands for Fentari Racing League.
Fantasy Racing.
Is it Fantasy Racing League? Because I see two R's. Hold on, Charlie. Is it Fantasy Racing League? James, do you know? Oh wait, no. Wait, hold on, James. Isn't Fantasy Racing League the league that you're a part of?
Yeah, it is. I'm an F4 driver of that one. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Fantasy Racing League. Charlie representing his league very well. Hey, I struggle trying to say SRM Esports, so I can't really talk. No, he says no, it's actually Fentari. Wait.
No, I'm gonna say this now. No, I'm sorry.
Well, we
God,
actually...
it's Fentari.
Is it actually Fentari? Well, there you go.
It is Fentari.
Alright, so we have Formula Racing League, we have Fentari Racing League, and we have Fantasy Racing League, FRL, very, very popular abbreviation for Formula 1 leagues. But we're here for a new one, SRM Esports. So again, thank you guys for coming in, thank you guys for showing the support. Sorry, I'm choking right now. I swear to God, I'm actually choking so bad. We have actually 12 people watching. I just saw the indicator come up. 12 people watching. So thank you guys so much for supporting SRM Esports. We're trying to build up to that 30 subscriber mark. Only 4 subscribers away to get that up there. And if you guys have enjoyed, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is totally free, and you can unsubscribe if you feel like it. We have races every single Wednesday around if I remember correctly, 7:30 British Standard Time. But we are here tonight. Also, we have like those like one-off weeks where we have actually a break. We actually had one 2 weeks ago, actually, after round 4. But we are back at it again for round 6. But James, we've been waiting. How's the standings? Yeah.
Yes, yes, I finally got there in the end. So, after round 5 last week of Bahrain, the standings are as followed. Battlesea Mini in the Williams at 106 points, followed by F1 Farf in the Alpine at 96 points, Michael F1 in the Ferrari in 87 points, along with his teammate Grimmy with 75 points. Top 5, Dundrees in the McLaren with 72 points, Dopey Lemons in the Aston Martin 61 points, Markey in 7th in the Red Bull with 45, Steve in the Mercedes at 44, Richard with 37 points in the Mercedes as well, and rounding up our top 10 is Angry Dutch Guy in the Red Bull at 35 points. Now, going from 11th, we have Tomo Tip Top. I almost went top tip there.
Oh, well, that's not going to be a good situation right there, is it, James?
He's in 11th in the McLaren with 34. You've got Mogi in the Williams at 30 with 31 points at 12th. 13th, we've got Andy. He is in the Haas, I believe, with 21 points.
Who again, sorry?
Andy, he is the Haas driver, I believe.
Alright, well, it looks like, actually, Andy Smokesmith, he's actually in the AlphaTauri here tonight, so it looks like, it was a...
These are obviously wrong.
Well, we'll move on to constructors then. We'll move on to the constructors.
Okay, so, constructors. At the top, we have Ferrari with 162, 25 points behind them is the Williams team on 137. 56 points behind first place is McLaren at 106 points, Alpine in 4th with 99 points, Mercedes in 5th, 81 points, Red Bull in 6th with 80 points, then we've got Aston Martin with 68, AlphaTauri in 8th with 31, Haas in 9th with 30 points, and Alfa Romeo running the bottom of the pack with 20.
Well, hopefully they get themselves a little bit more points on the standings, but we're actually going to go on board with Dundrees now, as he is going to be the first person to finish the outlap and make his way across the corners. He's now entering turn 6 actually in sector 2. There's double apex of turn 6, now turn 7, where he tries to fight his way down towards turn 8, and this dreaded kind of like a sloping left-hander of turn 9 to an... Actually, you see that little right-hander right there, actually. That's actually not a corner number, which is a bit odd, because there's a crucial corner where we actually could see some dives into turn 10, but now he is making his way towards sector 3 into turn 12. The current lap record of 110.540 from Valtteri Bottas back in 2018 is Dundrees going to be the one to break that lap record. As he crosses the finish line, he's going to set a time of a 107.496 for Dundrees. A great start to qualifying. Good pace there to start us off, but with qualifying keep on going, we're going to have a lot more rubber out on the track. We're going to be seeing some faster times as qualifying progresses. Both of the Haas's cross the line.
Wing.
Wait, Steve has no wing. He does.
Steve
Looks
has
like
no wing.
Looks like he had a little bit of an incident during his qualifying there. And we're actually, I'm looking still in the chat. So Michael has finished his business, let's say, and he's saying that it feels like heaven. So it looks like he's enjoying himself. Michael F1, of course, the Ferrari driver. already invalidated into turn 1 and 2, but that's the one thing about this track. So let me actually give you guys a quick description of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix here in Brazil at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Space. We're looking at around 15 corners around this track, where the first ever Grand Prix was back in 1973, and the circuit length of around 4.309 kilometers. The crucial part of those 4 odd kilometers is actually sector 2, where you have around 8 corners starting from turn 4 all the way down to turn 11, and you have those sweeping S's of rights and lefts. It's very difficult to get correct, as we see Michael currently moved off of the track for the time being to let some drivers through. But every part of this track is difficult, I gotta say. Every part of this track is difficult. You have turns 1 and 2 and 3, that downhill S, where if you go too much on the throttle, you're going to spin easy. Turn 4 and 5, where, of course, from last season, we saw the dreaded Hamilton and Verstappen getting pushed off of the track, actually, into that corner. Of course, the track where Hamilton actually pulled off the last to first, practically, on that weekend. But with that being said, do you actually have any other? Do you actually know anything else, James, about this Brazilian Grand Prix? What really makes it unique?
Nothing really out of the ordinary stands out, apart from the fact this track is a very, very nice track for overtakes. Every corner is an overtake opportunity here in Brazil.
Yeah, it is very crucial. You have corners like turn 1 where you're going to definitely see some people make a dive into the inside there. You also have the end of the first DRS straight all the way down towards turn 4, where of course we saw Hamilton and Verstappen get into some controversy with that corner. You could actually see them still battling out all the way onto the runoff area of turn 5, 6, and 7. You also have the turn of turn 12, where you'll be entering sector 3 right after turn 13 is where we get the DRS detection zone for the second DRS zone, which is right before turn 15 all the way down towards turn 1, where the speed trap is right at the end of that as well. So as you said, a lot of overtaking opportunities, but who is going to be the one to utilize it the best? Because it's good enough to have those runoff areas and have those positions, but who's going to be the one to really dig deep down into their skills and try and make up those positions? But we're just going to have to wait and see, aren't we, James?
Oh, absolutely. This is a league where anything can happen. You can have someone at the back, say Paul, say some drivers at the front crash out. Gives them a chance to try and show their worth.
Well, the current Drivers' Championship leader, and of course defending Drivers' Championship leader of Battle Z Mini, he's been having a pretty good season to start off, but it looks like for the Williams team, it's not really going there right now. And we actually have we don't even have a message in the chat. We have a whole paragraph from Alicia, where she says it would be really appreciated if Michael stopped inviting his mates to league races, because now I have to cheer on more than one person. Best of luck, Harry, World Ninja, and Pablo. And of course, Posh Boy and Michael have a lovely race.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie says, Alicia might be joining too, so be prepared for more. Well, Charlie, when would that be? Would that be round 7 or round 8? Like, would it be next week or 2 weeks' time? Because honestly, I would love to meet you.
He's actually a commentary and racer, is FRL Charlie.
Oh, so basically, I really have to keep up my skills then with this, aren't I? Wow, Charlie. Wait, hold on. So Charlie, this whole time, you've been a commentator and you've never told me in the chat. Charlie, come on now, man. Come on now. But yeah, so he said next week, probably. So, well, we cannot wait. To be honest with you, if you were here tonight, you would have made the whole 20 full grid.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was a little bit late on asking to join.
That's fair. But I'm trying to look around the field. Is there anyone on the hot lap do you see out there?
I believe Richard may be going on to or is doing a hot lap. I'm not sure.
Alright, we're actually going to go on board with World Ninja, actually, as he's still yet to put a time, as actually invalidated. But it looks like he's going to be going for another lap here for the Aston Martin driver. And I do got to say, some of the drivers in here, they still give it their all. They still give it the best effort. But, of course, with tracks like this, it really takes the worst out of them. It really does.
Oh, yeah. It's a very technical course. Is Brazil, and if you don't have what it takes to just conquer this racetrack, it will eat you alive.
I'm pretty sure that's an understatement for you, my man. But but yeah, but I say the one thing about this track that really makes it unique is that it has a lot and a lot. I'm gonna say it again because there is a lot of elevation changes, and that's really gonna put a strain onto those rubbers, onto those suspensions as well. So it's gonna be very, very, very difficult for these drivers to actually maneuver around these sort of conditions. Of course, if you're in, like, let's say a Porsche 911 on Gran Turismo, or on a Sette Corsa Competizione, it's going to be different compared to the Formula 1 game and Formula 1 cars as well. Plus, they're open wheel, all of the good stuff, but it's going to be making it very, very difficult, as we just saw F1 Farts struggling with this lap at 114 for the Alpine driver. Looks like he had a little bit of traffic that he had to let by, but it looks like he's going for another one now.
Yeah, as we got Steve, he is on 4 lap old mediums at the minute, going in for another lap by the looks of it.
Oh, Alicia just sent a chat. SRM is the only league that I actually enjoy listening to the commentary to. Kissy face, and she accidentally put that. She meant to say the crying like the laughing out loud emoji. Yeah, Alicia, don't tell Michael that. Don't tell Michael that. He'll go after me, bro. But yeah,
no,
appreciate the love,
Michael
Alicia.
has dealt with a lot worse than that. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, you already know I'm not gonna try anything. I'm basically stranded in the middle of the freaking ocean, being from Bermuda, so I have no sort of game. But as we just saw, the last person to put in a valid time there goes up to 10th fastest with a 108.257 for him. And Alicia just says, actually Charlie just said, Alicia, what's wrong with FRL then? Well, Charlie, I'm guessing I'm guessing I am the better of the commentators out of us two, huh? But I'm joking. But yeah, still gotta love the love, gotta say. Gotta appreciate the love and support of all of the people in the chat, supporting not just the community, but also those drivers. Oh, what's right with the... Oh, no. What's right with it? Charlie, you want me to give you some pointers?
Watch the stream.
There you go.
Fun light commentary, not... Hey guys, welcome to SRL. This is round 2 of this course.
Okay, guys. So you gotta act like a pilot on like a what's called like a commercial plane. So
just act like you're on crack.
No. So it's basically like you know like the pilots in like American Airlines or Air Canada. This is
your captain speaking. We will be flying to Bermuda today from Livingston. This will take 2 hours. Enjoy your flight with us and enjoy your meal.
But it's like you have like the microphone so close. It's like, here today we are here at the auto.
Oh yeah, I got it.
This is your captain speaking. I'm Captain George. We hope you enjoy your flight today. Today this flight will take 2 hours.
But in Formula One terms, so in this race, we're looking around 19 drivers here for SRM esports, and I absolutely love it. See, this is why James is such a good co-coms, man. And we're not even like, you're not even a co-coms at all. We're both on the same field at this point.
Oh yeah, because I'm streaming as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. But we are waffling a little bit. 3 odd minutes, just under 4 minutes. So there's commentators and there's this. Michael, hey, we're trying to give an example, buddy. But
oh, Michael is probably laughing his butt off. I know Michael, he will be laughing.
Gotta love it, Michael. Gotta love it. Good luck out there. Currently fifth fastest, a 107.714 for the Ferrari driver. But we're now looking at our current. Well, we're now looking at our provisional post hitter of Dundrees, a 107.496. Was the first person to set a time out on the track, and it's been solidified. But he's going to be improving it here as he's reaching the timing line. He's going to improve it to a 107.379, improving by a whole tenth out on the track. This is Dundrees' track. This is why he was the first one out there to set a statement saying that he's going to be the fastest out there tonight in the McLaren, which I wish happened back at Bahrain in the real life scene. But no, Haas decides to come out of nowhere.
Hey, no, not Haas, Magnussen.
Well, yeah,
That
Magnussen.
beautiful
Yeah,
man.
Magnussen, yeah. Yeah, Magnus, yeah. That's fair.
All that needs to be said. Just Magnussen.
No, I gotta say though. Now, Alicia, you're gonna be the best person to answer this. Who is the better looking driver? Kevin Magnussen, or like the meme? Like, I have to say it like the meme. Come on, I gotta say it. Nico Hülkenberg. Like, Alicia, who is the better looking out of those two? Please let me know, because if anyone else answers, I'm gonna take.
Search that now. She's gonna search what the names up. Have a look at the photos.
Yep, pretty much. But yeah, but still, back here at SRM Esports, Burrow Ninja is struggling a little bit out on the track with the invalidations out there, and currently the slow is a 111.2, so currently around 3 seconds, almost 4 seconds off the pace of the leader. But I'm still looking for someone to challenge Dundrees for that pole sitter. The closest was one of our very own Marky in the Red Bull, where he has his teammate of Angry Dutch Guy right behind, so it looks like he's going to be giving themselves a little bit of a tow here tonight to end off qualifying. But
this is probably the first time we've actually seen some proper teamwork come from
actually
qualifying.
RSI Marky has been given a 5-place grid penalty for illegal blocking on Angry Dutch Guy.
That's a very interesting move.
That's
from
a
the
very
game.
I'm guessing Michael Massey is still in this game, right? Because that's how the contract works. She says, let me look their names up. What teams are they I'm driving for, or where I'm not going to be good with my F1 knowledge. Yeah, so basically search up the new signing of Kevin Magnussen, and then search up the backup driver of Aston Martin, Nico Hülkenberg. But yeah, but actually I gotta say the closest position changes actually, and we actually did miss this actually, James. So it looks like we got waffle with the whole. So here and but currently fighting for the 3rd place position, Dopey Lemons and Angry Dutch Guy are separated by 1/1000th of a second. 1,000th, and you know how close that's. You could barely fit a piece of paper between that sort of freaking distance. Like, that is extraordinary times. But Angry Dutch Guy is going to be reaching the timing line now. Same goes to the RSI Marky. Will be hit with a 5-place grid penalty. Michael F1 goes up to second, a 107.425. Neither Marky or Angry Dutch Guy could improve on their time. And
Michael F1 takes second.
Oh, but But look at this now. Dopey Lemons could be making his way up. F1 Farth gets a 107.3 of his own, but goes 6,000 slower from Dundrees. So Dundrees still has that pole sitter, but Dopey Lemons improving by almost 2/10 into Sector 3. He's going to reach the timing line, and he's going to go third fastest. A 107.409, 300ths behind our current pole sitter. And with Mogi going into the pit lane, that is going to be it for qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. Dundrees got his time at the beginning of the session, and it was strong enough to last all the way till the end. If only I could do the same. Dundrees gets pole sitter with a 107.379. F1 Farth 6,000ths of a second behind in second. So those guys are going to get a very, very, let's say, tasty sort of times out there. Everyone did their times on a set of softs, so we're going to be looking at a whole red front 5 rows. But with that being said, here is your starting lineup. Dundrees and F1 Far take the front row, with Dopey Lemons and Michael F1 in that second row. It's going to be Angry Dutch Guy and Richard in that third row, with RSI Markey being hit by a 5-place grid penalty to start this race. He'll be down in 10th. Then we have Mogi and Battlesy Mini in the fourth row. Then Wolsey and RSI Markey in the fifth row. Then we have Kittle, Grimmy, Andy, Hazza, Tomo, Pablo, Steve, Paul, and World Ninja in the back, setting out only a 111.215. And we have an answer. Actually, James, we have an answer. She goes with Hookenbill. Yeah, if you're looking for stability and a let's say I'm the pilot again. So if you're looking for stability but also, let's say, a little bit of publicity, you're gonna go with Rasmussen.
Why not go Rasputin? Why not? Let's just go for
Oh, fuck. Alright, but actually it looks pretty cloudy here, James. So we could be looking at a mixed race start here tonight. I'm looking at the actually RSI Markey looks like he's gonna go on the set of hards, if I'm looking at that correctly, in the pit crew, which would be a very peculiar sort of strategy. But one thing I do gotta say, the mediums and the hards, like, usually, let's say this. So basically, with the mediums and the softs, you don't really lose that much pace, right? You only lose like around maybe like a few tenths, not much. You're not like losing like a whole second compared to other tracks. So I would say, if possible, start on the set of mediums and then go on a set of softs at the end, because those mediums can actually last a very long time. But I'm in the comms box. I could be just chatting out of my asshole. But with that being said, let's actually get this party started, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be starting with a formation lap as always, and let's see what tire compounds these drivers will go through. And if James, can you do the rundown for us of those tire compounds?
Okay, so from first all the way down to 13th here is all going soft tires. Hazza and the World Ninja both going for that medium compound. And the odd two out here is actually Steve and Pablo on a set of hard tires.
So it looks like a lot of drivers going with the aggressive start here with the soft compounds. But let's see, because anything can happen here in this race, especially at Brazil. Very, very easy to lose it. But actually, is it a good idea to go on those set of softs? Because with it being a little bit cloudier, a little bit cooler, is going to help out the drivers with their tire temperatures out there. So they're probably going to be able to get longer stints on those set of softs, and probably go soft and medium at the end of this race. And same goes with the medium drivers, the medium to soft. So if it stays like this, like nice and cool, nice and cloudy, we could be looking at a very, very good one-stop strategy for a race winner potentially. But anything can happen, as always, of SRM Esports. And I do gotta say, right before this race starts, guys, again, thank you guys for coming in. Make sure, if you have enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you also subscribe if you see yourself coming back from time to time. And make sure that notification bell is on, because every Wednesday, 7:30 BST, British Standard Time, we will be here in SRM Esports in the comms box. Me and James, as always, the dynamic duo. But let's get this party started. Dundrees will be getting up to the start. Amazon actually tells me completely wrong, because it looks like a two-stopper here tonight, actually. So I was actually talking out of my asshole. Got it. Appreciate it. Amazon, I paid for your Prime, and you treat me like this.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Right.
Oh wow! Thank you, James. Thank you. Appreciate your support. But let's say we are about to get this underway. The engines are roaring up as we are still waiting. Oh, there we go. Now there they are. I didn't see it. 5 red lights, and we are underway to start round 6 of the Brazilian Grand Prix for SRM ESPORTS. Michael, with an amazing start, going to go around the outside of F1 Farth into turn 1. They now go side to side, and there's a touch. Michael F1 has spun around turn 2. And same goes with Tomo in the rear. They now fall down. F1 Farth and Michael having a little bit of a collision there. Angry Dutch Guy is going to look around the inside of Richard.
Lost.
Yeah, and Mogi goes completely off the field. And who is that? Andy Smokes mid goes completely spinning off into the runoff area. And he re-enters the track right in front of Tomo. Good thing the ghosting effect came in there. That would have been catastrophic. But so far,
Andy Smokes and Keidel that possibly made contact and spun with each other there.
yeah. So a lot of controversy already into the first coming of corners. Michael was able to get past Pablo, so it looks like Michael didn't really withstand that much damage, and a huge crash for Steve just up ahead. I just saw that on the right side. We're still yellow flags in Sector 2. We could be looking at green lights, but no, the VSC just comes out as Hazza also has problems.
I believe Steve may have collected Hazza, or Hazza was involved at some point, because his end plate is completely missing off that car.
Yeah, I right as he went into that runoff area into the green, yep, it's his right end plate. As he now enters the pit lane, both of the AlphaTauris going in, so it's going to be a double stack for them. That pit crew is going to be working overtime at this point. But yeah, we are now back at it again. Green flags waved on the track, as we now have Dundrees still leading the way. F1 Farth, his position is going to be looking very, very controversial, because it didn't look like he gave that much space into turn 2 when him and Michael collected each other. I'm already seeing Charlie in the chat not enjoying that for Michael. World Ninja gets a 10-second time penalty as he just cuts the line. Look at him, he's still cutting the corners. I don't know what World Ninja's doing here.
I'm honestly speechless. There's not many times I am, but this has got me a bit speechless here.
But now there's going to be another ingredient to mix the pot. DRS is going to be enabled here tonight, and let's see at the end of lap 3 who's going to be the one to come out on top. Michael, or actually now I should say Tomo, actually has the fastest lap at 1:13.274, still 3 seconds off.
Stealing it off them.
We'll make that now 2 seconds off the lap record of a 1:10.540 from Valtteri Bottas back in 2018. Let's see if we're going to be able to break that record here tonight. But with that being said, we're now looking at a close battle between Richard and Battle Z Mini as they make their way down towards turn 9. This dreaded left-hander, the elevation change really messes up these drivers. Michael also gets a 10-second. So it looks like he had a little bit of a spin there and went back onto the track. So I think that's what happened with Michael there. I saw him, he was ghosted. Looks like he got a little bit of a spin into turn 8 and couldn't save himself, but had to cross the track to re-enter. So that could be going down with the stewards potentially of getting that removed. But
oh God! Oh, Ninja's crashed.
Oh, World Ninja, yep, and his front wing is completely gone, and that's going to be a safety car here. But just being said, we also just saw Dundrees with an extraordinary time of 1 a 110.046. So into lap 4, we have already broken that record from Valtteri Bottas back in 2018. Pablo also gets himself a drive-through penalty with that. But yeah, Mike, you can see Michael using the safety car period pretty well. It's going to be serving a 5 seconds off of that 10-second time penalty. And he's going to be down to 13th as he now exits out the pit lane. Not a really good start for Michael, you got to say.
No, absolutely not. Getting spun and now still having that penalty to deal with. It's going to be a tough one if he wants to come back into this.
Yep, and there you go. There's more fuel for the pot. Dopey Lemons gets himself a drive-through penalty as well. And it didn't look like Michael actually served 5 seconds into that pit lane, so it looks like he's going to have to be stuck with that. Oh, right, because it's exceeding track limits. You cannot, serve track limit time penalties. Yeah. But still, it could go down to the stewards at the end of this, because I don't think that's fair for him there.
No, absolutely not. If you can't control a car going off track, and the game's like, no, you're getting a penalty for it. It's not really that fair.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm looking at this now. So a lot of the soft runners are actually going with different tire compounds here. We actually have Dopey Lemons on the set of hards. So the only driver to stay out is going to be Tomo with 4 lap-old sets of softs. And I do gotta say, the sun is coming out, so it could be a good time to make that tire change, because now the track is going to be heating up very quickly with the sun coming out of the clouds. And with that being said, we still have 2 drivers that have to serve a drive-through penalty here, and that's actually going to be Dopey Lemons and Pablo Juarez. So not a good start for either of them. An unfortunate start for Michael F1, getting into a little bit of a battle between him and F1 Farth into turn 1 and 2 of the race start. And not given the space there, I believe, from F1 Farth, but is going to go down to the stewards.
Yeah, it probably is going to come down to stewards at that point, but McLaren pulling off the 1-2 right now.
Well, one of them actually have posted. Are currently with the fastest lap as well, so going to be bagging in that extra point if it stays like this. However, with those new tire compounds, Dundries has actually exited out on a new set of softs, so he's going to have to make another pit stop regardless in this race. Same goes with Tomo. He hasn't even made a pit stop yet. So Tomo and Dundries really need to dig deep and try to get the safety car restart in their hands, but anything can happen, to be honest with you. Rear race saw a crash with Steve, and surprisingly, that didn't bring out the safety car. It brought out a virtual. But then when someone loses their front wing, that brings out the safety car. I don't see any consistency with that.
That's an F1 for you.
See, I'm telling you, Michael Massey is still here. He's still here. He's still here in this game.
Of course he is. It's 2021 still.
Codemasters, please. Michael out. But
if McLaren can keep this 1-2, they're going to close so quickly on their rivals at the minute, which is Williams, with Battlesy Mini being the closest Williams to them in 7th.
Exactly, but with the Williams team, actually, you do gotta say, Battlesy Mini has been carrying that team on his back throughout the entirety of this season, currently leading the Drivers' Championship as well, where Mogi is currently near the mid-pack, I gotta say, with the points of around, maybe like around 30 points there, where Battlesy Mini is already been the first person to reach triple digits. So do you think Battlesy Mini really needs to communicate with Mogi about getting some points in to solidify themselves on the top of the Drivers' Championship? Because without that, we could be looking at one less championship for Battlesy Mini.
Absolutely. I mean, at this point, the Williams teams, they need to try and help each other out as best they can. As the safety car is going in, and we're underway again as Tomo has left his teammate for F1 Farth.
And we're actually going to go on board with F1 Fart. This new set of mediums, not really that much pace difference between the mediums and the softs. Looks like F1 Fart actually collected a little bit more of that curb than he would want, as the gap now increases to around 5/10. We're now going to go down with Grimmy, who's currently getting close. Bowsy Mini getting close, and RSI Markey doesn't look like anything's going to come out on that.
We got a freeway battle for 6th. And behind that, we got a freeway battle for 9th, I believe? Yes, 9th.
Yeah, you can see Mogi. You can see Mogi getting very close. But the thing is, the main competitors right now is the Williams and the Ferrari right now. And we're seeing all of them together. Bowsy Mini in front of Grimmy in the Ferrari. We have Mogi right in front of Michael in the Ferrari. So you can really see that it's going to start kicking off. F1 Farth is really close on Dundrees now. So Dundrees really needs to use Tomo for a little bit of help. And we actually just missed it. Pablo Juarez is out of this race. Looks like he spun around turn 3 there. And Richard also has himself a little bit of a spin. But there you go. No more yellow flags on the field.
2 AlphaTauris going side by side in turn 1.
Oh, yep, has it on the inside there. Dundrees has actually just gone past Tomo, actually, on the DRS straight. Tomo now falls down to 2nd and is going to be aiding his teammate here, Mogi, looking to have a battle with Wozy. Wozy mistiming the braking zone on the outside and is going to slot down to 9th place. Mogi now up. No, down to 10th place. Mogi now up to 9th. And Grimmy now sees himself into a Williams sandwich at this point, so it's going to be very difficult to get out of that one.
Yes, and Michael needs to make up places here if he wants to get anything out of this race. Was starting in the 2nd row, got spun out, and is needing to start making up these positions, or else he's going to lose out very quickly.
Well, he needs to make up those positions, and he's going to make them up quick. But F1 Farth is going to be the one to make another spin. As you can see, his car going down the hill on the right side. Hazza also has himself a spin. And you can see Kittle goes past his teammate of F1 Farth as well. 3 seconds for Tomo. So it looks like themselves had a little bit of an incident there. Woolsey is trying to defend against Michael F1 into turn 1, 2, and 3. Michael will be having the DRS though, and the DRS game here is super strong. As you can see, Michael getting past Woolsey a full car length ahead as well. Even before that, Woolsey still struggling with the braking zone there into that corner. Just luckily not able to take out anyone with that late braking there. But now we're going to go back up with Grimmy currently in 6th, still in between both of the Williams drivers. Mogi's actually really closed the gap now with those new set of softs. So let's see if he's going to be utilizing them to the best output. But with it being said, Dundrees and Tomo, the McLaren 1-2, still in the lead. F1 Farth, Dundrees' main competitor early on in this race, now falls down to 15th after spinning around. So Dundrees is just going to be just soaking in that nice clean air.
Oh yeah, and Mogi is actually losing a bit of pace in Sector 3 by the looks of it on Grimmy, and then maybe catching up in these corners where the softs are utilizing that more grip they have on the medium set of compounds. But here we go, he's going to go for the move on the inside.
He sees the gap. Is he going to go for it? He sticks his nose in, but his nose wasn't long enough to get in there. So Grimmy is still going to stay in that 6th place. And now we're seeing Michael creep up the rear of that battle. We're looking at close to around a 4-way battle for that 5th place by the top 2 constructors in the championship, Williams and Ferrari. So it's a Williams, then a Ferrari, then another Williams, then another Ferrari. So now it's going to be elbows out at this point.
Oh yeah, these 2 teams are not going to give an inch on this track. They want the points for the constructors. They want to try and outdo each other any way they can. And with Williams being on top right now, as it stands, Ferrari need to get past them to make sure that gap does not minimize. As Grimmy's going past Bowsy Mini.
Yep, so Bouncy Mini now falls down to 6th place. Grimmy utilizing that DRS to utter perfection, but now he could be caught out potentially here. Potentially by a double overtake here. He has no ERS, so Bouncy Mini's gonna look at it. Is Mogi gonna do the same? No, he will not. He's gonna stay right behind and still shorten that gap even further. But he sees the flashing red lights on the Ferrari ahead of him, and that could be giving him the indicator to make a move at some point later on in this race.
Tomo picks up a 5-second. Oh, Tomo spun. He spun.
Oh, Tomo.
Seconds.
He now falls down to 3rd, now finds himself in a Red Bull. So basically we have a McLaren, then Red Bull, then a McLaren, then a Red Bull. Then we have Williams, then Ferrari, then Williams, then Ferrari. So the 4 constructors in the top 8 gonna be very, very, very close to see if there's gonna be any sort of mishap with this. But RSI Marquis closing the gap now. He's going to be using everything he's got in that tank. He's going to look around the outside into turn 1. But Tomo's old softs, are they going to be able to hold up his own? It's not, but Mogi is going to try and get past Grimmy. And he does into turn 2 as well. And we'll be getting the DRS off of his teammate of Bouncy Mini. We're now looking at the Williams, both of them ahead of the Ferrari team here.
Yes, and Grimmy has been putting his elbows out, trying to fight, trying to get that positions, but with little to no ERS, he's really struggling at the minute.
Yep, and you can see Michael is getting very close to him as well. So, do you think this could be the optimal point to let Michael through and let him have a go at the Williams drivers?
That's exactly what he's doing.
That is what just conspired here tonight. Michael F1 now down to 9/10. Mogi will be getting the DRS off of his teammate, and we have another spin near the back. Is Kittle? Kittle?
Yeah, however you want to say it. Potato, tomato.
Alpine. Oh, and Tomo now goes into the pit lane now, so he's gonna fall down the grid. But he still did a very good job holding off F1 Farth for Dundrees for that lead, and not opting for the pit stop. He's going for it now. Going to be serving a 5-second time penalty in that pit lane, so that could help him out. Mogi is now right on the tail end of Bouncy Mini. It doesn't look like he's going to actually give Bouncy Mini some sort of trouble with that position. But if you were Bouncy Mini, you would kind of let him through. You're on the mediums, he's on the softs, Mogi's making up some positions. And with you being ahead of him, those softs are going to be deteriorating much more quickly compared to the mediums. So he would, and plus with the dirty air, it's going to be going even harder now on those set of softs. So if I was Bouncy Mini, let him through, because he's going to have to pit regardless.
Yeah, that's very true, but Bouncy Mini will not want to lose a place to Michael F1, because with Michael being so close to him in the championship fight.
That is true as well. So let's see this now. The Williams teammates are working hard, and there you go. Or as I say, I'm like a genie in here with the team plays. Is Michael now going to close in? But he doesn't have enough. He's going to still hold back on Bouncy Mini. And Michael with that time penalty, hoping to get resolved at the end of this race by the stewards. And you can see he's using the slipstream, the ERS and the DRS. They're now going to go side to side into the end of the DRS straight. Williams on the inside, Ferrari on the outside towards turn 5. Now 6 and 7, the Ferrari on the inside. God. They're still side by side. Turn 6, turn 7. Michael. Oh, and they're still side by side into turn 8 and turn 9. So Bouncy Mini still fighting with his main rival here of Michael. And
just go in front.
Good clean battle from turn 4 all the way down to turn 9 and 10 as well. So good battle right there. But with that being said, Michael is going to be losing out of ERS, and that could be Bouncy Mini's opportunity to make up that position. Or actually, should I say that he does have it? he does actually have it somehow. He was just able to get within that 1 second gap, and Michael now is going to be fighting against Mogi. So now Mogi needs to hold off Michael F1 without any DRS. Is he going to be able to do it? He's going to try and break the slipstream all the way down towards turn 4. He does still hold on to that position. But look at the gap now between all 4 of these drivers, well, 3 of these drivers, I should say, as Grimmy is starting to fall back a little bit.
Yeah, Grimmy, I think, using too much of his ERS too soon. I think he's used it too much, and he's just losing out because of it.
Oh, and it looks like we have an incident up the field, and it looks like it's Rural Ninja. Rural Ninja just not having the race that he wants to remember, as he now gets lapped by the Williams and Ferrari teams. And we're still going to go back up top. We're actually going to go on board with the review of Mogi. As you can see, the gap between him and Michael very, very close, within the DRS distance as well. So Michael could be looking at making up the position here. Hugs the left side of the track.
Here we go.
And here we go. Is he going to get it?
There we go.
He has got it, but is it going to be short-lived now? Because Michael won't be having the DRS. He barely has any ERS. And now against 2 Williams that have ERS and DRS. Actually, he's not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to. Michael F1.
Mogi running really wide.
He's actually letting his teammate through there. Oh, Grimmy, yep, they're now going to go side by side.
Oh.
And Grimmy pulls out of that battle, not going to go side by side up there. Very, very difficult to go side by side up there. But of course, we saw that with the, you could probably say the quote-unquote #1 drivers of their respective constructors, of Michael F1 and Battle Z Mini.
Yeah, I would say they are probably the better drivers in their teams. And I'm just looking here, the Red Bulls, they'll be making up some very good points on their competitors, which are meant to be Mercedes. Mercedes are not, I don't believe they're in the points. They're not, no. Richard being the only Mercedes driver left.
Yeah, they're not in the points at all, yeah, so it's not looking good for them. It's looking very good for the Red Bull team, though. The silent team up front of, well, not up front, but in the podiums, Angry Dutch Guy and RSI Marquis working very well together to get themselves further away from the Ferrari and the Williams team. So they've been actually pretty quiet in this race, but it's good. It's actually a good thing in their case. They're working together, they're keeping it their own way, and they're just going to push on with that strategy to see if it prevails.
Yeah, if they're able to keep this up throughout the next 19 laps. Sorry, math slow.
Oh, Steve, hold on.
19.
We got news actually. Richard is in the points. Top 15 actually gets points here, James, in SRM Esports.
Ah,
So
wow.
the only person not looking at getting points is actually the World Ninja. So Steve, thank you for popping in. Unfortunate with your crash. I'm actually surprised it wasn't actually a safety car, but yeah, hopefully you get to improve next week in round 7. But with it being said, now if you guys are queuing in middleway, we're actually at the midway of this race. If you guys are just queuing in, welcome to SRM Esports, where we are here for season 4, round 6 for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Commentators Just Gaming or Justin, Highlander or James, and we've been here for an extraordinary race.
I've just noticed something. Mogi is all the way back in 10th.
Yes, yeah, because he made the pit stop on the new set of mediums, but he could be making his way up to 9th now, as Paul's got Bo has no ERS. Mogi has the DRS now. He's going to look onto the inside here, and he's going to make the position up. Paul's got Bo. It looks like a lot of people are struggling with that corner there.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to be struggling, going out wide, or just braking too late against that corner. I don't know, it's catching a lot of people out.
Yeah, and that's what we were saying as well. This track, even though it looks simple on paper, is very, very difficult once you get yourself out there. Because you can know about when, like, the time zones to brake, how to take corners, how to keep that consistency. But you never know. There's going to be that one shakeup that's really going to get you messed up here. And you never know. You're going to turn left, and then suddenly your ass is going to be turning right at the end, trying to save yourself from spinning around. But yeah, but that's when it just comes down to the drivers and their experience out on the track. But Mogi now goes up to 8th for his team. But now Battlesy Mini's still struggling to get past Michael F1. So really shows that Michael F1 with this new season is really going to stick his elbows out early on in the championship run.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've just been watching these intervals between the Ferrari and the Red Bull of Marky and Michael. He's cutting that gap down. He's in the DRS zone of the Red Bull.
He's getting very close. Dundrees, our race leader, now goes into the pit lane on those set of softs. How old are those softs actually? 13 laps. So he's going to probably go into a set of mediums potentially. Yes, he will. But that's what I was saying. The softs last pretty long here. 13 laps on a set of softs. What other track are you going to be able to do that on? Like, it's tough. It's tough, isn't it? Like, if you're thinking about softs, you're thinking about, only like around 8 laps at max, probably 6 laps on different tracks. But Brazil is actually 13 laps, and we've seen that with our pole sitter and actually could be provisional race leader as well here. So still
a safety car, not safety car, but yellow flag sector 1.
Yep, and that's Pole's got ball. Yeah, it looks like Pole got himself a little bit of a mishap into turn 1. Harry just says, I got rear wing damage from my teammate in turn 1. Not gonna lie, try letting you through. So I'm guessing, Harry, is that Hazza? Is Hazza Harry?
It is, yes, that would be Hazza.
So Steve and Hazza working out their differences. Love to see that. Hazza, welcome to the chat, my man. I hope you
have Michael on the inside, and he's got it.
There you go, but is it going to be short-lived now? Grimmy actually goes into the pit lane. He's going to go with a set of softs potentially to end this race. Don Dries is going to get past easy as well. But let's see, we know Michael has the pace. Battlesy Mini won't be getting the DRS. Around the outside is the 2 leaders in the Drivers' Championship. He's still trying to put his nose in a Battlesy Mini as he makes his way now towards turn 5. However, will be settling right behind the lapped Aston Martin of World Ninja now, down to 16th, out of the points, and it's not looking good for him. It's not looking good.
No, he's not had the best of races. Going into Brazil, I don't believe he was that confident. And by the looks of it, he's just lost a lot on this race so far.
Yeah, but the one thing though that we do gotta say, the front 4, let's actually look at their tire compounds right now. 15 to 16 lap old medium, actually no, yeah, 16 to 17 I should say, lap old mediums, where Dundrees is currently on 1 lap old mediums. So though that front 4 is really going to be caught off by Dundrees' pit strategy here. So, and with it only being around 15 to 14 laps left, I am not looking at around mediums lasting that long. World Ninja has crashed out on the DRS straight, and that's going to be the safety car.
Well, this has just mixed a lot of things up. Now, Marky, Dutch guy, Michael F1, and Z-Mini have a free pit stop here.
Yes, however, would it really have changed much? Because Dopey Lemons is pretty far back, and the pit lane isn't really this long. So
it actually changes quite a lot, because Marky, Angry Dutch Guy, Michael, and Z-Mini all go on the soft compound to finish this race.
But is Dundrees going to be doing that and losing out on the position and leading the safety car? I don't see that happening. I'm sorry, but I don't see that happening.
The softer compound's going to be a lot faster than what Dundrees has got. Because I don't think Dundrees has a spare soft compound.
No, and he's going to stay out, but that's also the thing as well. Dundrees is able to make those softs last 16 laps. And the only thing as well is that they're gonna, like, later on the long run, the mediums are gonna be the better way to go, because later on those softs are gonna be very, very tough to keep the pace. And we're seeing that with Battle Z Mini right now. He's gonna come out on a new set of mediums.
Oh, we got Mogi as well. He's gonna come right in the middle of this pack.
Yep, and
he comes out behind Michael.
Comes out right behind Michael, and Mogi gets a drive-through penalty. Oh no! And he's trying to let his teammate through. Looks like it's a little bit of a glitch. Mogi, you need to go off the track to give the position. It doesn't work like that. If you're trying to give the position to Battle Z Mini, you have to go off the track, completely out of the track limits, and he'll be able to overtake you if you are listening to me.
It looks like the game's allowed it anyway.
Yeah, but with the safety car restart, it's going to be pretty difficult for these drivers, I gotta say. Pretty difficult. Poe's got ball, gives himself a 3-second time penalty, and with this potentially being the last safety car of the race, let's actually look at the time penalties. So Mogi actually going completely past Michael there. Was he allowed to do that?
I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know what Mogi's doing.
Mogi's just passed Michael F1 under a safety car.
Yeah, so I'm not too sure exactly what's going on here. If he's thinking, okay, he didn't go into the pit lane, so that's smart. Oh! Michael almost going straight into the back of Mogi there.
Michael's going past Mogi. What is going on?
It might be a glitch with the Codemasters thing. I'm not too sure. I don't know what's going on here. But Michael is back into that third place.
If it was a glitch, then it would have told Mogi to give... Well, no, sorry, Z Mini to give the position back to Mogi.
Which he did.
But then Mogi somehow ended up in front of Michael.
Yes, I'm not too sure what happened there. Not entirely sure. But it looks like the grid was able to make themselves up now. And we're still winning on Poe's got balls to catch up with the pack. And I'm actually looking at, we actually have a lapped car up in second place of the safety car restart. Yes, I think people are trying to let the left car through. Well, the left car is Kittle. He's in second. If anyone's going to be trying giving that position up, it's going to be Dundrees. Because there's no one else. Whirl Ninja is out. Poe's got Bo is making up the back. So yeah, it's only Kittle. It's only Kittle, Steve.
I don't know. I don't think Dundrees is going to let him pass.
Yeah, I don't think so neither, because with him being there in that position, that's actually going to help Dundrees in a way. Because with his set of mediums, compared to the new set of softs right behind him...
Oh, Dundrees is letting past. Oh, but Kittle's not having it. He's letting the other cars past, I think. This is very confusing.
Yeah, this is very confusing. Yeah, so... Okay, Dundrees had been asked on Discord to let him pass. Well, he did go off the track to let him pass, but Kittle just didn't allow it. So, yeah, Steve, we're gonna be having Kittle gonna be holding off the pack now. Kittle is now holding off. You can see it. He's holding off RSI Markey. Mogi goes into the pit lane now to serve that drive-through penalty. So that's really gonna mess up his race. And Dundrees now, with the aid of Kittle, is going to now lead by almost a second. Controversy here in the safety car restart. Andy Smokes Mid. Andy Smokes Mid has himself a little bit of a spin. We have Battle Z Mini right behind Dopey Lemons. Dopey Lemons is able to get past Battle Z Mini on the inside there.
Angry Dutch guy gonna have to get his elbow, make that F1 car a bit of a double-decker here.
Oh, and a F1 Farth. What was he doing there? With a huge dive there on Battle Z Mini, contact on the side pod. And that's actually just classic F1 Farth, just really going super aggressive there, but he doesn't really know his limits that much with that aggression.
I don't believe any. I think both drivers may have got away with damage, possibly maybe some side pod damage to Battle Z Mini at most.
Yeah, you can see he's struggling to keep up with the drivers ahead, even with the ERS. So yeah, he is definitely going to be looking at some damage there, thanks to F1 Farth. So the Alpine not gonna be a little bit controversial there. To the end of this race, but RSI Marquis is now going to be right on the tail end of Dundrees with that set of subs. Dundrees closes the gap on the outside, and he's going to keep on going. Michael, I'm going to say Michael is in third, mainly because those 10 seconds could be taken off because he lost control of the car, and if it was anything, it would be only 3 seconds. Oh, and look at Angry Dutch Guy right on the tail end as well.
Oh, this could be turning into a 5-way fight for that first place.
This could be, but the thing is, this could be a recipe for disaster, though. In the dire moments, these soft runners need to get past the medium runner of Dundrees as quick as possible. And with that also being said, who is going to be the one to comply? And if there isn't going to be anyone, who is going to be the first person to make a mistake?
All of these drivers at the top.
Oh, look at Grimmy! Look at Grimmy! Grimmy, sorry to cut you off there. Grimmy around the outside. They're gonna go side to side with Battle Z Mini into turn 1 and 2. And Battle Z Mini now falls down to 7th. F1 Fart's gonna look on the inside as well as he gets DRS. Dundrees is gonna lose out to RSI Marquis for the race lead. And look at Michael! Michael's gonna go side by side with Dundrees! And there's a collision! Dundrees spins. Oh, and a huge crash with Dopey Lemons! Dopey Lemons is now out of this race, and you bet that's going to be a safety car.
Wow, what an absolute lick Dopey Lemons just gave Dundrees.
So Michael,
he's still in here.
Yeah, honestly, I'm so surprised there. That was a hefty hit there. Oh, and Poe's got Ball! What is Poe's got Ball doing? Dundrees had to get past. Poe's got Ball just cuts him off and then spins him out and damages his own car. What is going on in this safety car? I don't know what's going on here, James.
I don't know either. This is a very confusing race for me today.
Well, there's one thing I definitely know that's going to happen. There's definitely one thing. The stewards are going to be having a busy night tonight.
Oh, please don't.
They're going to have a busy night tonight, and you know this. You do know this. I'm just speaking the truth here.
I know, I'm assured.
Oh, man. That is not good. I hope Dopey Lemons is alright. He had a major collision there. Same with Dundrees. He goes into the pit lane, surprised that he didn't have to retire his car, because that was a serious hit.
That was probably one of the biggest hits I've seen in F1.
Oh, I've seen one bigger. You want me to tell you what?
Go on.
There is this league that I do on Fridays that I do commentary for, and there is this race at Portimao. Let's just say, do you know on Portimao at the beginning sectors you have that left-hander uphill right before the first DRS zone?
Yeah.
So basically 2 cars spun there. It was practically a roadblock. The third car comes in shooting, and the first car that spun around got hit, like T-boned by that car, and he did a full barrel roll.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a major collision. He got instantly taken out of the race for obvious reasons. But yeah, let's just say that is the biggest hit I've ever seen. Me personally, that's the biggest hit I've ever seen. That right there with Dundrees and Dopey Lemons, a little bit mediocre compared to that. I'll have to send you a link of the video after this. But yeah, still guys, it looks like we're looking at another safety car to end off this race. And you can tell Dundrees, Poe's got Bowl, they are not happy campers. But with that also being said, with it being the late laps of the race, James, we have to talk about driver of the day potentially to get in the extra point.
Yes, we will. You see, I'm looking at Marty potentially.
You're looking at Marky.
Places, leading this race, has had a good few fights now. Up in first.
Do you know who I'm gonna say? And granted, with what just happened, I'm still going to go with Dundrees, mainly because absolutely dominated the qualifying, led the race by almost 9 seconds at the beginning of the race, then got unlucky with the collision with Michael F1, and that's not really his fault. There's a little bit of a collision. Michael F1 closed the gap even though Dundrees was right next to him, so that could go down with the stewards. Dundrees, unfortunately, had a collision with Dopey Lemons that takes him out. And then Polesgar Bowl sabotages Dundrees, and he falls down to 11th. But if we're talking about for the majority of the race, I'm going to still go with Dundrees. I think he truly deserves it.
Well, we'll have to see how many places Dundrees can make up, because right now my vote's with Marky.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see. Marky will be restarting the race after the safety car. The safety car's in the lap. He can go whenever he feels like. We're gonna go on board with Michael to see the reaction time, and he's going for it now. And a brilliant reaction time there from Michael. A brilliant reaction time there from Grimmy. As both of the Ferraris are gonna be battling both of the Red Bulls into turn 1. They're both side by side, but both of the Red Bulls come out on top as they make their way down. Tomo goes off the track a little bit. F1 Farth gets a 5-second time penalty for a collision, and Andy Smokes Mid is collected in that as well.
Also, I forgot to mention, Michael also potentially in for a driver of the day, coming back from the back of the grid after spinning out turn 1.
Yeah, but I think that controversial collision between him and Dundrees is really going to mess up his chances there.
It all comes down to perspective there, I think.
Yeah, that does.
I didn't see exactly what happened. I just seen all I seen was Michael and Dundrees racing. I didn't see the contact. I was on a different POV there.
Yeah, it's on the stream, so you'll be able to see it after once you go with the stewards. But we're now gonna look down with Mogi, who's currently on the tail end of Polesgar Ball. The Haas and the Williams been battling each other all last season, still battling each other this season. Well, not this season, sorry. This season of SRM Esports, but not in the real life scene. The Haas has really won that battle into Bahrain already. Dundrees is now up to 8th place after overtaking Richard. So Dundrees is, you can tell that he is a different animal inside of that McLaren. He's gonna push even further ahead as much as possible.
Absolutely, and he will be kicking himself for spinning out. Getting collected.
Well, it's not his fault there. It's not his fault. He didn't spin out. He got hit.
Yeah, I know, but being an F1 driver, I know you kick yourself for it.
Yeah, that is fair. When you put your elbows out, there's going to be definitely some injuries. And in this case, some position changes. But Dundrees is making up the positions with those new set of softs. Has his teammate of Tomo Tip Top ahead of him. And if I was Tomo, let Dundrees through, or at least aid him with DRS to get up to Woolsey. And he's going to be doing it now around the outside. Now closing in on the inside here. They're almost touching. Yep, there's the inside line. Dundrees is going to push up to 7th now, ahead of Tomo. And he's on a roll here.
He is just driving that McLaren like no other car. Like, that McLaren right now is a Mercedes.
More like a Red Bull, actually. Because, of course, in this game, the Red Bull is the better car for some reason. But now, Dundrees is closing in on Woolsey. He was looking on the inside for a sector into turn 6 and 7. But he's still going to stay right behind the Alfa Romeo. And then after this, we'll be eyeing down the Williams driver of Battle Z Mini. Currently Drivers' Championship leader, defending Drivers' Championship. Let's see if he can actually catch up to him now. Big competition ahead of him as well.
Oh, absolutely. Some of the bigger names in SRM, Battle Z Mini, Grimmy, Angry, Michael, and Marky. If he can catch any of those guys, I don't know. He's just, I guess this is just his track for.
And he's still closing the gap. Same goes with Woolsey closing his gap on Battle Z Mini. Battle Z Mini has no ERS left in that Williams car. And I gotta say, Dundrees could be looking at getting up to 5th place at the end of this race.
Absolutely. If he drives this right, he could potentially maybe even, if he's fast enough, snatch that fourth.
Well,
But he
he's
would be needing a mistake.
well, he's already going up to 6 now. Wolsey gets himself a little bit of a messed up line there into turn 4. Gave the space to Dundrees on the inside, thinking that he was going to make the dive. Fell for the bait, and he's going to fall down to 7th now. Dundrees is going to be right on the tail end of Battle Z Mini, and he's been on a resurgence at the end of this. And I think with Dundrees as well, that 3-second time penalty could be taken off, because that was when he had that collision with Poles Got Ball going off the track to try and avoid, but still made the collision. So that could go down with Dundrees. So Dundrees could be closing in into a podium position at the end of this race as well.
And here he goes, Bazzy Mini inside, and he's caught up with ease. And he got the DRS.
Does he also have the fastest lap? Because that was an extraordinary lap there. Doesn't look like it. Actually, does he? Oh, Michael. So, yeah, Michael does have it. And Dundrees, you can see the blinking red lights on that car. Battle Z Mini is going to be closing in that gap. It's not going to be enough to make a dive into turn 4. But still good enough to give himself a little bit of an effort to close the gap there. Dundrees with those old set of softs, and the front 4 with their set of softs as well. So I think Dundrees is going to have to settle for that 5th place for the time being until the end of this race. But 3 laps now left here at Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace.
There's only one way I see Dundrees getting maybe that 4th or even 3rd. And that's if Angry and Grimmy start fighting it out like mad. To get their elbows out and fight a little bit too hard. Potentially slowing each other down or even taking each other out.
Well, another way is if Grimmy fights himself too hard to where he gives himself another time penalty. Because Dundrees does have 3 seconds, could be eventually taken off if he does fight it and the stewards comply. Grimmy with 3 seconds as well, so if he gets another 3 seconds, that position is his at that point.
Yeah, potentially, as long as Grimmy doesn't have the time penalty can be taken off Grimmy potentially, if there was a mistake there. So either way, this could go down to the wire.
This is really going to go down to the wire. We have a spin near the back of Richard. So Richard has himself a little bit of an incident. I'm just going to go through the field real quick. Just going to check one specific thing. And it looks like everyone's doing good on fuel, I got to say. No yellow blinkers on that fuel gauge. And yeah, it looks like everyone's going to be finishing it off. I'm just looking at every single potential opportunity or anything really that would steer something in the works.
Yeah, for some reason fuel in this game very, very easy to manage. Last game was a bit more difficult.
That's an understatement. But you can see this now. Grimmy is actually aiding himself by using the DRS off Angry Dutch Guy. And Battle Z Mini, it looks like Battle Z Mini is going to get the position here on Dundrees. Really close the gap here into turn 3. He's going to look on the inside. The gap is there. He's going to squeeze in. And he's going to go side to side with Dundrees. Dundrees goes right into the runoff area for a little bit, but he's going to fight back, still staying in that 5th place. Battle Z Mini is going to settle for 6th place for the time being. And this is the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to potentially be looking at a Red Bull 1-2 here tonight. So it could be a very, very good result from them. But we're actually going to go on board with RSI Marquee now, and it does have to say, it looks like RSI Marquee, a good race here tonight, is going to take the checker flag. Got a little bit of a gift from Dundrees, and he's going to take the checker flag.
Michael coming. Oh!
Michael got very close there, but Dundrees now is going to find himself up down to 6th as Battle Z Mini pushes his way up to 4th. But is it going to be... Oh, 7th now. Did he get a glitch at the end? Hold on. Because he only had 3 seconds. Let me see this. With the incidents, right at the end of the race, and stewards, for you guys and the stewards, okay, never mind, it just closed off. I'm gonna go through all of the. I'm gonna go through the incidents page just so you have a recording of that. That way you guys can use that for your information as well. But RSI Markey gets the game's driver of the day. You're gonna still go with Markey, I presume.
I gotta give it to Dundrees. He did drive superbly that last few laps. He deserves the driver.
I couldn't agree with you more there. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dundrees is going to get commentator's driver of the day. Just got unlucky with the incidents out on the track. Kept on pushing at the end like a madman, from down around 11th up to 7th. But not too sure what happened there. He only had 3 seconds, so I don't know why he lost that amount of time, especially with Michael F1 getting 10 seconds at the end of that. But we're just going to have to wait for the steward's decision. But with that being said, it's a Red Bull 1-2 on the field with RSI Marking Angry Dutch Guy. And with that being the closing time, I need to go through the scrolling here. There you go. There's all the people there. I have to go through this, so just in case the stewards need it. Going through the race directory. Scrolling through all of that. And there you go. Yeah, so Dundrees actually looks like, yeah, nothing happened with him, so I'm not too sure what happened there. But Dundrees down to 7th, driver of the day as well. So he's really going to enjoy that, really soak that in for the extra point. However, next week for SRM Esports, where are we going to be next week? And I got the answer for that right here, actually. Next week on the 30th of March, 7:30 British Standard Time, we're going to be at Belgium at Spa-Francorchamps. So it's going to be a very, very good race. However, that's going to be it from us, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to let Highlander and the stewards get themselves drinking a lot of coffee for tonight for a busy night. But
I'm going to have to make a whole pot.
Yeah, but it's not a whole pot of coffee. It's going to be a whole pot of espresso at this point. But again, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed SRM Esports. We'll be back here next week, 30th of March, 7:30. Mark it on your calendars. We're going to be back here. I've been Justin.
And I've been the Highlander.
Stay safe. Lots of love. Bye, all.